Hey guys, welcome back to Reading, Writing, Refuge. So, in our last video, we talked about outlining, kind of getting a roadmap for your story down on paper, right? Well, this video, uh, all of my videos, I do not outline. I do them by the seat of my pants, and whatever comes to my mind is coming out of my mouth. So, with that said, I hope that this video is helpful and I hope it makes sense. But the topic is going to be being receptive to inspiration, being receptive to creation. And so, if you watch the very first video on this channel, about a month and a half ago, I guess now, you know that I'm trying to get back into being receptive to creation. I wanted to start writing again after a really, really long hiatus away from that writing, from that creating. And the reason I left writing and just dropped all of it to walk away, I needed a mental break. And that is a separate video. If I ever make that video, I've had some epiphanies about it in the last couple months and why I walked away. And I'm coming to realize, I just needed a break. But writing was starting to call to me again, the last 5, 6 months. It's been kind of just creeping in my mind that I would like to create again in that outlet. YouTube is an outlet as well, but it is a different format. And so, yeah, that's a totally separate video. We'll get back to that. What I want to focus on in this video is that I made the mental choice to be receptive to creating. A couple months ago, I made the decision, I'm going to create again. I'm going to write. I'm going to get back into writing. I'm going to start this channel so that I have some accountability. I have some mental push for myself, but also encourage others to do the same. Sometimes I feel like the best way to do something, to learn something, one of the best ways is to teach it. To do something, sometimes the best way is to inspire other people to do that. And then you kind of get pulled along in that momentum and that energy. So I was kind of hoping that's what's going to happen with this channel, right? And it's been a month and a half-ish. I'd have to go look at the dates. I don't know what day I started the channel. I have yet to create, right? Even though I've made a couple of videos and I've encouraged you guys, it hasn't hit me yet, that urge, until just the other day. And when it hit me, it was like just something I really needed. I hadn't felt that in a long time, kind of since long before I even walked away from writing. I had not had that energy, that feeling, that punch in the gut that, oh, I've got to create this. I've got to do something with what's coming to me right now. This image, this feeling, this emotion. Like starting to worry, like, what if I can't create again? What if that inspiration doesn't come to me? What if it's gone? What if I let it pass? What if I just stepped away for too long and it's not going to happen? I'm not going to be able to create again. I'm not going to be able to write again. I'm not going to have that inspiration that just easily pops in your head and you've got this really strong urge to get it out, to write, to do what you need to do to create, right? So then it happened a couple days ago. So I think what happened is that, number one, I made that declaration that I want to get back into writing. I started this channel just to kind of, encourage you guys, encourage me, have that accountability. So I made the declaration. I made the statement out loud into myself, the commitment, I'm going to write again. And I've started trying to make these baby steps and get back into it. But the passion wasn't there. That pure desire to sit down, take the time to get that story out, to write. And then I was walking in my front yard a couple days ago. I'm going to put the pictures here on the screen. I saw this sunflower. And this sunflower was frozen from our first deep frost, which happened like a week and a half ago. It's been like permanently frozen in this same state. It's looked exactly the same. And I've looked at it a few different times, but on this moment, this day, I walked out there, I looked at it again, and then I just got flooded emotionally. Imagery came to me, and like I knew there was something in that moment that needed to be created. And we're talking about metaphor, we're talking about figurative language, we're talking about, you know, I wasn't going to write about that sunflower. It wasn't that. It was what it represented. It was what came to me. And it was something about, and I'm not going to be able to articulate it here the way it came to me in my mind, because it happened so instantaneously, and it's so much detail and so much information that's just in a split second. But something about, and I'll have to work this out later, and that's where the outlining might come in and all that, but something about a point in time for someone who gets kind of arrested at a state of development. And it was a heartbreaking imagery that came to me, a heartbreaking realization. And it was comparative to, say, a child that has a trauma at this certain point of development, and they're growing up, and they kind of get permanently fixated, permanently damaged, permanently frozen into that moment. And so all of that came to me at once. I almost started crying. Like, it was really powerful. And after, I took a moment with that, and it all kind of got processed and put into my mind as to, let's create something with this. After that, I was like, wow, I'm so relieved that I can create again. I'm going to be able to do something with this information. I'm going to be able to create again. I have that urge. I have that desire. I have that feeling. So it came back to me. It took a month and a half. But I think, just like we said, step one for me was making that declaration, making that intention, being open. So I think you have to be open for inspiration. You have to be open to receiving. And for so long, I had closed that door. I had turned that off. I couldn't emotionally go into creating for a long time in that method. Now, have I done other things that are creative? Yes. I've been gardening for the last 4 to 5 years, and that for me became a huge creative outlet. I've been creating YouTube for the last 2 years. That has definitely fulfilled a lot of desire to create, to be creative. And so now that I've opened the door back to writing, and it finally has hit me, and I do feel that urge, that momentum to go with it, I'm just so relieved. So I would recommend, you want to get back into creating, you want to start creating, make that declaration, make that commitment, and then you have to be receptive. And so to be receptive, some things you can do to help with that is increase your input, because you cannot have output, you cannot create unless things are coming into you. You're processing it, and then you're creating and putting out. So that can be just taking walks, that can be absorbing nature, that can be looking through beautiful coffee table books and images. You can get input from anything that you take in sensory-wise, smells, just to be exposed to as much as you can be exposed to give yourself the input. So we have to have stuff coming in continuously, and then let that kind of cook in the mind, and then what's going to come out, you don't know, you can't predict it, you have no control over that part. So what's going to be created, sorry about the lighting, that's up to your mind. You don't have a lot of control over that, right? But you can control your input. So get out there, expose yourself to as much as you can, walk through an art museum, take some walks in nature, talk to people, go sit somewhere in a coffee shop, the mall, watch people, listen to people. All of that is like a source of fire for you to kindle, to burn your mind, to burn out story, to create, to just be able to put stuff out there, right? So that was a big part of what I wanted to talk to you about. And so then when the inspiration hits you, when you finally get hit with story, with ideas, with images, something you want to draw, something you want to create. So what do? You need to have a way to kind of make a note to yourself. I used to always carry a tiny notebook. I'm going to start doing that again. You can take notes on your phone. I have a notes app. You could take pictures, and that's what I did with the sunflowers. I wanted to create that again when I sat down with my laptop to write. So I took a bunch of images, just kind of a way to make a note. You need a way to make a little note to yourself, either writing it, picture, a note on your phone, text yourself, email yourself, whatever you need to do to have that little reminder. So that's it for today's video. I just wanted to share that with y'all, that I felt it. I felt that desire. I felt that push, and it was great. It was a little heartbreaking, you know, what came to me, but it was good to know that I could get that inspiration flowing again. All right, guys. So next video, I think we'll do a prompt, writing prompt. Hope you're having a great week, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.